So today I wanted to talk about some Assassin's Creed Rift. Now, if you watched the last video, I've told you a little bit about the current state of Assassin's Creed in 2022. Today I wanted to go over some of the latest Rift leaks, and also sort of go through some of the articles that have come out and determine what things I think are correct and what things I think are not so correct. So let me switch over here. All right, let's start with this Kodaku article. Right, so here we have. Uh, it says Ubisoft turning a Valhalla DLC into standalone Assassin's Creed game. This was the first, I think, the first leak or something like that in Feb. Valhalla got too big for Assassin's Creed and blah blah blah. Yes, while it is correct that we are getting a Basim game, and yes, it is correct that it is based on a Valhalla DLC, what's not correct is to think that it's going to be any different from, the main game. In terms of, how Valhalla played, Rift will still play the same. So, you go through this, it says a bunch of things about Druids, Siege of Paris, and Dawn of Ragnarok. And it says here, reportedly, it'll star Basim, a key character from Assassin's Creed Valhalla, who, and those who've successfully rolled credits can attest to the extent of his personality here, is kind of a freaking jerk. Well, I mean, not really, okay? He's not so much different from Bayek when you think about his motivations, right? So Bayek wanted revenge, Basim kind of wants revenge as well, but you can root for Bayek and not Basim. That doesn't make any sense. So it says the development of Rift comes amid turmoil from Ubisoft and its portfolio of globe-spanning studios. Yes, Skull and Bones isn't doing very well right now. A lot of things have come out about the Singapore branch as well. But so far, this article doesn't go into much detail. But basically, what they tell you is that uh, this game will follow Basim, right? At this point, we didn't really know the setting or the time period. But if we move on to a different article, so let's move on. So let's see. This is April 25th, and these two are from May. So let's go with April. So it says Ubisoft's next Assassin's Creed game reportedly leaks. Uh, a recent leak suggests that. Alright, so it says virtual reality crossover titled Assassin's Creed Nexus. Now this is a VR game. It's not it's not like a mainline game. It doesn't count. So this is not their next Assassin's Creed game. That's not true. They just have a picture of Assassin's Creed 1 here for no reason because yeah, I guess everyone likes that. A leak may have just revealed a handful of details about blah blah blah. So yes, Assassin's Creed Nexus, right? No, this was leaked a while ago. The whole the UI of the game, but it's more like a VR mobile game. It's not even that great, to be honest. But it doesn't really talk much about Rift at this point, right? So it says yes, starting with fan favorite Ezio, right? So Ezio is in Nexus, Ezio, and like a bunch of it's not an open world VR experience. And this doesn't really. So yeah, okay. So they do mention Rift in here, but they do it near the end. So Assassin's Creed Rift, which right. So it doesn't go through that here, but in this article, you finally see it says set in 900 AD in Baghdad. Now, this if it's a Baghdad setting, it's obviously pre-Valhalla, so it's before the main game's events. So between the prologue of Valhalla, where Eivor is a child, and when you play as older Eivor, so so Rift is set essentially in between that, and it'll follow Basim, which yeah we already know that. And yeah, so it says it was meant to be a DLC, but Ubisoft decided to turn it into a standalone game. Uh, but here's the thing. So it was yeah. So right. So this where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Yeah. So it says players won't experience a giant open world. Instead, the game is tied together by smaller hubs, each with its own unique biomes. It also focused more on the classic parkour system we saw in Unity. That is not correct. It is an open world game. It might not be as big as Valhalla, but it is still an open world game. It will not have the classic parkour system we saw in Unity. Unity's parkour system was not classic. It was not. It was also not that great either. Um, Now it says here the reports claim that Assassin's Creed Rift is now a full AAA game led by Ubisoft Sofia and Ubisoft Toronto. Now the game is set for reveal during the Xbox Showcase event next month and will be fully showcased during Ubisoft Forward in July. Now this is July and we all know Ubisoft Forward isn't happening at the moment. But we can expect to see Rift revealed in September. The event that they announced, the AC15 event. In September, we will probably see the reveal and maybe a tease of Infinity. So it says here, right, take this with a pinch of salt. Yes, yes, yes. So, right, of course, take this with a pinch of salt. Now, another thing that I wanted to go over while we're on this topic is, right, so the game has been delayed internally from its original 2023 release into 2024. Now, this is in regards to Infinity. Infinity, yes, you can expect it by 2024. 2023, yes, I think a bit too early. And Ubisoft is also working on Assassin's Creed 1 remake, which will now slot into Infinity's original 2023 release date. This is unconfirmed. Don't have any hopes for this, and I would much rather have a remaster than a remake. So that's one more thing to keep in mind. Now let's go to this last article here, which this goes a bit more into Rift than the previous articles. So it says Rift is reportedly being set after Valhalla with a new protagonist. That's not true. Rift is very clearly going to be set before Valhalla. That's kind of the point. So Basim is no longer right going to be the protagonist. Okay, this is not really right, but yes. So stealth action franchise, which I'm not really sure if we can call it a stealth action franchise anymore. But the point is, right, so you've got this video here from, alright, whatever, so so this is a video from Master Assassin, right? He said Assassin's Creed Rift finally, Ubisoft listened. Now this I have no hopes for Rift, I'll be honest with you. I don't really know how it's going to end up being. I don't have any hopes for it. Now the thing is, it says it's reportedly the next game in the series, targeting a late 2022 or early 2023 release date. Now this is correct. Yes, it's going to be either the ending of this year or early, maybe first quarter, second quarter of next year. And yeah, the game originally planned as the fourth expansion of Valhalla has been yes, you have Bastion. But here it says it might not be true, but that's not correct because the expansion will take place in 900 AD, which, considering the story of Valhalla takes place between 872 and 878, will be a couple decades later and not a prequel. Now, if it's a Basim game, it will most likely be a prequel. It cannot be a sequel. From what I've heard of discussions with the writer on a Rift, who is a completely new person who's not worked on video games or Assassin's Creed before, she gives me the impression, I'm not making any judgments, she just gives me the impression that she might not fully understand the extent to which Valhalla fleshed out Basim's character. So I'm kind of worried about that, maybe some of the nuances of Valhalla will be lost in Rift. And the mystery behind Basim's character, I think, might sort of be ruined with Rift. And the reason for this being one of the cutscenes in Valhalla, where Basim talks about his child and like a mentor taking his child away from him in the scene with Eivor, the campfire scene. I am not going to make any judgments, but the writer allegedly believes that Basim had an actual son. Now, some people have defended this claim and said that Basim could have actually had a son, and he was referring to his son. But if Basim was referring to his own son and not Fenrir, Loki's son, who, Basim is essentially Loki at this point, right? So, if Basim was referring to his own son and not Fenrir, then it ruins the entire mystery around, Valhalla, and it doesn't really make any sense at all. And if you've checked out Andy Reload's channel, or any other Rift videos lately, they might have mentioned Andy Reload's videos, and the information that he has found out. So there have been allegedly, some gameplay changes being made. For example, social stealth, more focus on social stealth and parkour. That's not true. The parkour is still going to be the same. The social stealth might be a little bit different, but it's still going to play the exact same. Don't expect it to play any different from maybe Origins, Odyssey, or Valhalla. It's going to be the same ballpark. It's not a brand new game, because at the end of the day, this was based off a DLC of Valhalla. So I'm going to end this here. I think at the moment we don't know a whole lot about Rift, but the more we know, the more I'm going to get worried. But for now, all you need to know is that it's most likely going to be set before Valhalla. It's going to follow Basim as maybe a hidden one, maybe before he becomes a hidden one, and the process of him becoming a hidden one, and going through his whole like process of uh, getting Loki's memories and stuff like that. So that'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I hope it's done well. But this wouldn't be the first time a character written or sort of supervised by Darby McDevitt is ruined by someone else. So I'm gonna go into Rift with a pinch of salt. I don't really expect anything too out there, but let's see how it goes. I'm not the most optimistic, but yeah, let's see.